Hi everybody, this is Frank McDonough and I am the Questionable Botanist. I am Botanical Information Consultant here at the Arboretum of Los Angeles County, and I'm basically here to answer all your plant, gardening, horticultural, and other plant-related questions. And every day at 4 o'clock I go on the air and talk about some of the questions that I've received throughout the day and talk about different topics as well. Question 1, this is great. Look at this. Can you? Let me see if I can focus that just a little bit. And oh, that's much better. Okay, you see that right there? That little tiny plant. This little tiny plant right here is a Notoscortum. Don't know which species, but it doesn't matter. These things are evil, pernicious weeds. We have a big problem with them here at the Arboretum. They're introduced from somewhere in South America, I do believe, is where they're native to. They're related to onions, and they are terrible weeds. The reason is that they reproduce from underground structures and from seeds. So it's really tough to get rid of them. But one of the best things to do to get rid of these, besides applying Roundup specifically to the plant repeatedly, is to make sure that when you see these things flowering, you snap them off like this to prevent them from going from seed to seed. Because if you don't do that, you put your Roundup on, chances are the seeds will ripen anyway, and you'll still have the problem. So remember, if you have this weed, Notoscortum, and it's really bad, let me tell you how bad it is. We were in an area of the Arboretum that was full of this weed, and in order to get rid of it, we had to replace the soil down to about 2 feet. That's right. It is a bad weed. So if you see this weed, get rid of it, but absolutely make sure that it doesn't go to seed. Now's the time to keep an eye out for it too. By the way, this is what the leaves look like, and they're roughly, you're going to see them at about 1 foot to 1.5 feet to almost 2 feet tall. And they look kind of pretty, but don't keep them in, please. I also got via Messenger this olive. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but the olive was having problems fruiting. Turns out the olive was in Venice. I looked at the olive really close up with this, the botanist's tool, the botanist's friend, the jeweler's loupe. And this is a cool jeweler's loupe because it has a light on it. See that? That is so awesome. So I just need to look. Does this look botany, or does this look like a botanist, or what? Ready? Ah, yes. See? This is not just a professional tool, it's an image maker. I mean, this is awesome. Anyway, I looked at it and I saw tiny little olives that had just formed. So apparently the cool weather that we've been having and the fact that it's near the beach have conspired to slow down the maturation of the fruit. And so even though it looks like this may be failing as far as having fruit, it's not. It's just having a hard time. Not enough light, not enough heat. Give it some time. Hopefully it'll produce olives, although there's a chance it could abort those olives if it takes too long for them to mature. And let's see, what other great stuff did I have for you today? Oh, I've got some pictures today. I have some pictures for you. And let me go and show you these pics. Oh, this is a cool one. I'm pretty sure it's a cool one. This is a Canada goose. We don't just do plants here at the Arboretum. We have animals here too. In fact, 250 plus species of birds have been sighted at the Arboretum. The only place where more birds have been sighted is nearby at Whittier Narrows. And as a result of this, Los Angeles County has been named the best county in all of the United States to bird watch in. And that is due in part to both Whittier Narrows and the Arboretum being hotspots for bird watchers. Here we have blooming in the what used to be called the sunset demonstration garden and is now just a demonstration garden. We have Easterly vines. These huge vines and huge flowers are always a sight to see. Really a neat sight to see. And they're blooming in they're in full bloom right now. If you're a photographer, this is a great subject. Let me show you another one that I took. I mean, look at that nice contrast, the beautiful shades of white and gray. Really, and plus we have a dark background behind these, so it's a great photographic subject. Excellent photographic subject. Speaking of excellent photographic subjects, look at this. I snapped this one yesterday. In the foreground is a red hot poker plant, and in the background is a beautiful specimen of Jacaranda mimosifolia, native to Argentina. And if you're a photographer, or if you're just, forget being a photographer, if you just like beauty, you've got to see these trees. They're all over the place. Now, they're not just at the Arboretum. If you want to see some really fantastic displays besides the Arboretum, go to Hollywood and parts of the Mid-City area, especially around Echo Park, especially around the area near Vermont and it's Vermont, not Vermont and Wilshire, but the area of northern and northwestern Los Angeles, the older areas, are full of these plants, and they're pretty old plants. They've been there since the 20s and 30s, and so they put on a fantastic display. Get a chance, go down and take a look at these before the hot weather comes and chases the flowers away. This is the Indian horse chestnut, and that is on the east side of the southeast side of the Arboretum, right across from the Callum Garden. And these flowers are beautiful, and they have a dark background, so they make a good photographic subject as well. And we have bunnies. This particular cottontail rabbit, these are apparently wild rabbits, they're cottontails, located in the South African section. There he is again. They're not very camera shy. Most of the wildlife here isn't very camera shy. It's amazing. They're like camera prima donnas. They just are, not very shy at all. Anyway, that's it for today's Questionable Botanist.